I might even buy a home out in Mississauga.
Okay. So, if you aren't aware, last week Pop Smoke's debut album came out. And originally on the album, there was an additional track right after Dior titled Paranoia. This track features Thugger, Gunna, and Pusha T. It has since been removed from the album, and it might show up on the deluxe that we're eventually going to get. But it's unlikely given what Pusha T has said here. So, aside from what he said, words that being had between Pusha T and Thugger right now. But before I get into that, let's kind of break down his verse. So Pusha T's verse goes, you know reality bites, it's just not checkers. Those empty threats only sound good on your records. If the patois is not followed by the blaka, it's like Mark for Death, Screwface without the choppa. Let him rush the stage when you made like Sinatra, only to hide the blade flying back through LaGuardia. I might even buy a home out in Mississauga. On my walls, I have scrawls of just, I can't pronounce it again. Many dolls that are sprawled, leave my little nanas. Make a call, she gon' crawl, bad gal patra. I'm involved and absolved, I'm Godfather, hush. Now, upon first listen, that's a very short verse. And he could just be saying random things. Like, to the average rap fan, he's not really saying anything that would be like, oh, I should probably listen to this. Or like, this is of note, or this is what he's referencing. Most people probably understand, and most people already do, that like they understand that this is, again, about Drake, because Pusha T cannot get over it. Those empty threats only sound good on your records. So that's, again, pretty directly towards Drake, because one, during their original beef, Drake was like, oh, I'm not going to drop this track because it would end your career. Okay. And then he also said something like along the lines of, someone's going to punch you in the fucking face, to Pusha T. And then, I mean, throughout Drake's discography, he has these moments where he's trying to be hard and street. But that's not really him, so it's kind of weird. So I think that's what he's referencing there. But the thing that really is like, yes, this is about Drake, is him saying he might buy a home in Mississauga, which is really like, I think like half an hour away from Toronto. So yes, he's trying to go after him. Or just terrorize him in some way. Like, okay, he's got all these bars off. Let me just physically be near him to bother him. That's pretty much all the verse is. Like, it's not super heavily detailed. It's not no story added on. Like, it's, just random shots. However, Thugger did not take kindly to that. Thugger went to Instagram and posted this on his story. I don't respect the Pusha T verse on the song with me and Gunna, cause I don't have none to do with y'all beef, nor does Gunna. And if I knew that was about him, I would have made changes on our behalf. ... This rapper shit's okay. Okay, I don't know why he said that part, but this was a very just run-on sentence. It sounds like he's only saying this because he's friendly with Drake. Like, I get it, you don't want to be involved with this beef, sure. And bringing the beef onto an album where the artist is no longer living, and this is like kind of meant to be like a send-off, is a little disrespectful. Like, I will give him that. So I see where Thugger is coming from. And I totally agree. Like, that's kind of shitty. Like, don't do that. But then, Pusha T responded this morning. He goes, hey, at Young Thug, couple things. One, don't feel bad. Nobody knew what that verse was about. The label heads that stopped it didn't even know. They only assume because he told them. The same way he told about the Ross Maybach 6 verse. And if he'll tell record executives about rap verses, God only knows what else he'll tell. I don't deal in police work, police rappers, or police N-words. He's basically alluding, like, he here is Drake. I don't know how Drake heard of this, but Drake is involved. And yeah, I mean, remember, going back to the Maybach 6 verse, like, yeah, that, again, was very directed towards Drake. And on this channel, we talked about it too. Actually, no, it wasn't. I don't even think it was really about Drake. I think it was about Lil Wayne there, but I don't remember now. The other thing is, Pusha T, like, he's saying these things, like, as if he's in the right. But it's kind of weird because he had that song with Jadakiss, Hunting Season. And the reason that it got pushed back another week was because of the death of Pop Smoke. So he understands that there are some things that are just a little disrespectful given the time and place. So I don't know why he's like, this is the hill he's choosing to die on. Like, why is this more important than Hunting Season? He goes on to say, at Young Thug, you were the last verse added to the song, and that's only because I requested you. And then 3, and most important, Young Thug, just so we are clear, I would never look or need your respect for what it is I bring to this rap game. Now, that's where things get interesting. Pusha T could have just left it. Now, because this is basically directly at Young Thug now, I don't think Young Thug is the type of person to respond, because he hasn't responded yet. He was just randomly saying things, but also he went after French Montana a few months ago, so maybe he will respond. We'll find out soon. But I don't think he needed to say that. I mean, as far as rap goes, I think everyone's in agreement that Pusha T is going to come on top. Pause. When he's against Thugger. But is this a necessary battle? Probably not. We also got a few more posts. So after he finished addressing Thugger, he addressed Steven Victor. He says, I demand you to take me off the deluxe Pop Smoke album to avoid any confusion that it may take away from this amazing body of work. And then he says, from rappers crying to record execs to blatant label censorship, I don't ride with none of it, but love every bit of it. Now, y'all run along and be gangsters, but you leave the devil alone. All right. So, this is interesting because it's like he came to his senses and was like, yeah, you're right. Maybe I shouldn't be talking about this. Or like, maybe this shouldn't be on the album. Which, I mean, it's whatever. Like, there's been a bunch of diss tracks everywhere. Or like diss verses. So it's not really like, to me it's not a big deal. Like, leave it on the album, take it off, whatever. It's just kind of funny because, like I mentioned, he decided to postpone Hunting Season because of Pop Smoke's death. But he has no problem, or he had no problem writing this verse for this album. I don't know where this is going to go. Because Thugger is definitely in the right here. Like, that is disrespectful. And, I mean, you don't have to respect Pusha T. And Pusha T doesn't need Thugger's respect. But it is a little inappropriate to bring this sort of energy onto an album where you're essentially sending someone off. And it's just kind of funny because it sounds like Pusha T is having fun with it now. Like, he's just watching. He'll just randomly come in and be like, "Hey man, fuck Drake. All right, I'm out." I don't know. It's just a really weird situation to be in because it's like, yes, that's disrespectful, and yeah, he probably shouldn't have done that. But is it really that big of a deal? Like, come on now. I'm also kind of interested because nothing's been said on either end for the last few hours. So maybe it's just dead. Or maybe they're just having a private dialogue. I mean, I guess we'll find out shortly if Pusha T puts out another diss track. Thugger, I don't think is trying to be like protective of Drake or like be on Drake's side necessarily. Like he could be. But I think the main thing is that he's just like, yo, this is kind of fucked up. And Thugger is that type of person that he's like, he'll say it. He has no issue saying when things are not right. At least if it's related to him. He's not going to just be outspoken on whatever. But yeah, man. I don't know where this is going to go. And I don't know if this means that we're finally going to get a response from Drake. I don't think so, because Pusha T is just going to keep doing this until Drake says something. And Drake doesn't have to say anything because this is just giving him more attention. So you have all these rap heads who are super into Pusha T and rap beef who are just like refreshing like Drake's timeline, like his tweets and his Instagram posts, like just waiting for something. You're not going to get it. You're just giving Drake more attention. Or if he says something, it's going to be super subliminal and it'll be a one-off thing. It's whatever. But yeah, man. I think the verse was unnecessary. At least on this album. So I appreciate that it's no longer there. But it's also not that big of a deal, really. I don't think. Like, you can leave it on there and most people will forget about it. Or if you take it off, like, it's whatever. Like, people are still going to go out and listen to it. That's not going to stop people from listening to it. But, you know, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think Thugger's right here. Like, this is not the right place. And I don't think he meant to say, I don't respect Pusha T. I think he meant to say something along the lines he did, yeah, he said, I don't respect the Pusha T verse, so, yeah, I don't know what Pusha T is all about, saying that, oh, I don't need your respect. Like, come on now. Like, that's not what he's talking about. He's just talking about your verse. So, you know, whatever. That's all I got. Let me know what y'all think, and, you know, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Stay safe out there, and thank you for watching.